Hello, my name is Julie Smith. I'm a student at Wayland Baptist University, currently enrolled in a public speaking course. This is my commemorative speech. This speech is meant to honor someone who's been both important and influential in my lifetime. And hands down, the most important and influential person for me would be my mother. My mother, Gwen Christine Peters, she was a truly remarkable woman, and her absence from this world has created not only a hole in my heart, but in my life as well. I think that I learned a lot from her when she was alive, and I also learned a great deal from her death. The grieving process was difficult. It caused me to go back and reflect on who she was as a person and what she meant to me and what I learned from her. And it also brought about the realization that we all have a limited number of time on this earth, and that we probably are not going to know when our final day is. When I came out of that grieving process, I think on the other side of it, I was a better person. I took the things that were going on in my life and I evaluated those and their importance, and I actually found myself reprioritizing, putting the tangible items lower on my list and putting the people and the relationships in my life on a higher priority. I think that was very important because we have this ability to impact people through our own words and actions, and so the more positive that those interactions are, I think makes us and the people around us better all around. My mother, she was my one solid rock, and I leaned on her many times. She was that constant in my life for more than 30 years. And I would say that when you have someone that is there to support you for that long, somebody that is always willing to lend a hand or an ear, I think that there's a lot of comfort to be found in that. And that comfort gives us confidence to go out and face the challenges that exist in the world. My mother, she taught me how to stand on my own. She taught me how to be a better person. She taught me that the sky was the limit. Basically, I could have anything I wanted and I could be anything I wanted as long as I was willing to go out and work for it. So as far as that goes, my mother, she was a stay-at-home mom, but I think that she was wise beyond her own life experiences because I contribute my work ethic to the things that she taught me, to the values and the thoughts that she instilled in me. I mean, those are characteristics of who I am. My mother, she taught me in life that it's not going to be fair. There was a huge unequal distribution of chores in our household growing up, and I complained about that all the time. But my mom, she heard what I was saying, and she empathized with me, and she thanked me, but she never ever apologized. Never once did she say, "Julie, I'm sorry." She just simply told me that life is not fair, and that in itself is probably one of the biggest pieces of advice or knowledge that I gained from my time with her. I think when I realized that life was not fair, I think that I don't want to say I lowered my expectations, but I think I came to accept certain disappointments with a little greater ease than otherwise. And for me, knowing that life isn't fair makes it so much easier for me to say, okay, that's just the way that is, and to move on, to put, the past behind us and to look forward to the future. My mom never judged me. She listened, loved, guided, and supported me. She allowed me to make my own way in this world. She allowed me to make my own mistakes. I asked many times for her advice, and she, of course, freely gave it. But I didn't always take that advice. And if I didn't take that advice and I made a mistake, my mother was very careful to still be supportive, to step back and let me learn some things on my own that you just have to learn through experience. And so that in itself is also a very valuable lesson, because if we're afraid to fail, if we're made to feel bad because we do fail, then we're not going to go out and strive to be better than we were the day before. So how that was all handled, and being told more than once that I was never going to be defined in my lifetime by my worst mistake or by my last mistake, that I was going to be defined on a much greater scale. I think that information was invaluable as well. My mother passed away more than 14 years ago, but she still to this day is very influential in my life. When I am faced with big decisions, I find myself thinking, well, what would my mother do? What would my mother say? Would my mother approve? Hey, if I do this, would my mother be proud? And you know what? To be honest, if I answer no to any of those questions, I usually do take a moment to step back and reevaluate. And I think that's important, because I think there's so many things that we can do and say in anger that we wish we hadn't done or said later. So I think it's just another testament to the influence that she has had on my lifetime and to the person that I am today. So I will just close with letting you all know that I am very much like my mother. I love my mother. I think my mother was a wonderfully warm and smart woman, and I am grateful every day for the influence that she has had on me in my lifetime. Thank you.